Hey folks, I'd like to give you a few options on where to live and where to possibly avoid in the Philippines. If you are interested in living outside your country and what it may be like in other countries, then please just click like, share, and subscribe, and I will try and offer some pertinent information for you. I'll be covering the Philippines over the next few videos until May when I travel to Ecuador, and that'll try and get you some interesting, hopefully, videos from there. The input I will be sharing is based on my Social Security income from the U.S., and that is about average pension from what I've heard is for most Americans. Obviously, these and all my videos are going to be just my opinion, not to be advice or rules for you to follow. Just maybe give you an idea on places that you prefer to live, different lifestyles, primitive life versus as the locals do, quiet on the beach, mountainous tranquility, or other options. Hopefully, this will give you some ideas of places to locate to or to avoid. I've lived in 5 different cities or provinces here in the Philippines in the last 3 years. I lived in a small barangay in Luzon called Sipacat for the first few months because I wanted to be near my girlfriend, the one I had at the time, not because I wanted to live in the middle of nowhere, but because that's where she was from. It was a nice place, but nothing going on unless it was fiesta. And that's just fiesta they have everywhere here in the Philippines. Every small town and barangay and large city metropolis has fiesta at some time or other during the year. So anyway, not a lot to talk about. Sipakai is pretty. There was a lot of cool roads and stuff to drive around on. Coconut trees everywhere, and banana plants everywhere, like you'll find anywhere here in the Philippines. So I moved to an island, not an island. I moved to a small barangay in Bicol, in a place called the Caramoan Island area. This place is interesting mainly because it was super small and it only had about 250 citizens that lived in it. And apparently, it was a Survivor, the TV show Survivor, capital of the Philippines. There was a warehouse full of banners and such for different teams of people from all over the world. Survivor signs here, Survivor signs there. Everything was, hey, Survivor's been here. There were even buildings made a. They were even building a what do you call it? A course there, made out of bamboo poles on an empty lot while I was there. Didn't get a chance to see them use it or anything, but that's what it was going to be for. Um, Land was extremely cheap if you don't mind living away from everything, anything of convenience. Land was extremely cheap there. I could buy land right there on the water. I mean, you know, from the water to where the property was 50, 60 feet. And it was about, you could buy like a little over 1,000 square feet of property there for about $5,000 American dollars or 25,000 Philippine pesos. That's not a big lot of ground or anything, but it's big enough to build at least a two-story building on with a roof. All the houses here are made out of, pretty much all are made out of concrete or steel. So if you wanted to, you could have a rooftop sitting area or something, looking out over the ocean, unobstructed by anything. Anyway, it was cool to call the place home for a few months because I got the experience of living in an extremely slow pace in a very small barangay on the sea. The sea was right across the street from my house. Cool nice sand, seashells, clear water, lots of fishing boats and stuff. But as long as you didn't require fine dining or anything that you were used to and didn't mind eating fish, squid, chicken, pork, and tons of rice every day, day in and day out, eggs, that this place would be fine. I got homesick though for food. It had been a few months since I'd been back home to America and I hadn't had a burger, any Chinese food or anything. So I decided I needed to move someplace that had a little bit larger population. I could drive my scooter from Panama to Naga City, where there was malls and food and grocery stores and everything, but it was a 5-hour drive, and the first hour and a half of it was super rough, really rough roads. So I moved to Parañaque in Manila. I didn't like that either. Went from one extreme to another. Nobody and nothing to too many people and too much noise. Um, it was okay if you like large cities. I think if you wanted to live in Manila, I think, and you could afford it, Makati would be a good place to live. They have everything, super nice, super clean, but still every place is congested. Um, anyway, back to Manila. The getting around was difficult. Jeepneys were hard for me to get in and out of, and I'm not a tall person, but I had to sit with my head kind of bent to the side, keep from banging it on the roof of the jeepney. Tricycles are a good way to get around. They're not really limited too much to. They can go just about anywhere, except they can only travel within a certain places that they're licensed to travel in. So depending on how far you had to go, you may have to take more than one tricycle. Um, the Philippines has pretty much anything for anybody. I eventually landed in Dumaguete in Negros Oriental. I like it here. There's about 135,000 people, with 4 to 5,000 of them being expats. Um, I live actually in Valencia, which is up the hill from Dumaguete, and it's got everything. It's close enough to the city that I can go and get things there. They have German, Chinese, Filipino, Mexican food. But be prepared. It's not going to taste like you're used to or what it tasted like back home. Um, Other cities are Baguio City and Cebu. Baguio City is in northern Luzon. It actually is at over 5,000 feet elevation. It's not Denver, Colorado, because we actually are on the equator, but the temperatures there are nice. They're 50s to 70s. It's hilly, pretty cool town. Cebu is another one. Cebu has pretty much everything you would like. Beautiful beaches and condos and malls and all kind of stuff like that. But anyway, um, if you'd like to more information about here, follow my videos, like and share and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Look forward to sharing some more videos with you. Thanks.